You might assume that in today's world, every single piece of land and territory on the planet has been claimed by someone. You may believe somebody has explored the entire world, and that every corner of the map has been meticulously filled in. We've all figured out where everything is today. But contrary to popular belief, there are still areas of land on the Earth that have yet to be claimed by any country. There are currently 3 of them. The largest of these is Mary Birdland. However, this will not pique your attention because it is located in Antarctica, where no one lives, so we won't go into detail about it. Another is an unclaimed piece of land in Africa, lying deep in the Sahara Desert between Egypt and Sudan. If you know the Sahara Desert, you'll understand why nobody wants to live there, and so we won't go into detail about that either. The third remaining piece of unclaimed territory on the planet is the smallest of the 3, but it's also the most interesting because it's right in the heart of Europe. While it is true that the majority of Europe has been claimed, there is still some territory that has not been claimed, and today, we'll be talking about that piece of land and why no government has claimed it to this day. This is going to be interesting. This small piece of land in Europe that still has to be claimed by any sovereign nation is situated between Croatia and Serbia, directly next to the Danube River. It covers nearly 7 square kilometers of land, roughly twice the size of Central Park in New York City, and is even larger than the Vatican City and Monaco, the 2 officially recognized sovereign republics in Europe. Because no country in the world currently claims this land, it comes under the legal term terra nullius. When a piece of land falls under this category, it indicates that anyone, including yourself, can claim it and establish a new country on the land if you would like to. But if that's a piece of good news for you, and if you're thinking about claiming it right now, there are a few things you should know first. You'll also need to know a little bit about its history to understand why this hasn't been claimed yet. This piece of land and the surrounding area were all governed by the Habsburgs and subsequently the Austro-Hungarian Empire in the 19th century, which means that the British are remarkably the people who should not be blamed why this certain part is unclaimed yet. Croatians in the west and Serbians in the east lived on each side of the Danube River back then, and they still do. The municipal boundaries between them, however, were determined by the Austro-Hungarian government. The Austro-Hungarian government's boundary wasn't all that bad because it matched the Danube's course at the time. The issue arose when the Austro-Hungarian government decided to stretch the Danube River through numerous hydraulic engineering projects in order to make it more passable. Yes, they were able to make the river accessible for transporting commodities, however, they didn't know that they also sparked a territorial conflict between Croatia and Serbia because of that. After the First World War, Austria-Hungary fell apart over the decades, and Croatia and Serbia were included in Yugoslavia, which also fell apart in the 1990s. Croatia and Serbia became fully independent nations after centuries, and along with this, the Danube River, which supposedly served as a border between the 2 countries, has meandered and changed shape throughout the decades. This didn't matter when they were both parts of the same country, but now that they are both independent of each other, it suddenly does. When the Danube meandered and straightened, it left 100 square kilometers of land on the eastern part of the river, which somehow belongs to Serbia, and it only left somewhere between 10 and 30 square kilometers of territory on the river's western bank, which somehow belongs to Croatia. But Croatia doesn't claim it as theirs. If you would ask Serbia, they believe that even today, the border between Serbia and Croatia remains the Danube River. Meanwhile, regardless of how the Danube River has changed since the municipal boundaries were first set up in the 19th century, Croatia claims that the line represents the historical path of the river, as it was for more than a century ago. This practically means that both countries claim all of the land located in the east of the Danube River, but neither countries claim the land in the west part of the Danube. Moreover, they believe that Serbia's boundary is the Danube River as it is today. The unclaimed land to the west of the river is rightfully Croatian territory, but Croatia refuses to claim it because claiming it would mean acknowledging the Danube River as it currently exists as to their border, just as Serbia does. If they do, it would mean forfeiting all of their claims to the eastern land of the river. As a result, neither Croatia nor Serbia claims this region, and no other country on the planet does either. turning it into a land where no one lives in the heart of Europe. Meanwhile, if you're considering claiming this piece of land and establishing your own little European kingdom, there are a number of issues to ponder. So ponder this. First, because there is no infrastructure in the area and the land is located on a floodplain, it would be difficult for you to live there. Second, the entire area is guarded by the Croatian army, which does not allow anyone inside, making entry extremely difficult. In fact, many people have been arrested by the Croatian officials over the years, and these are people who have attempted to enter after hearing, like you, that they can claim the land for themselves. Third, there are a lot of other people who have already claimed the place, most notably Vít Jedlička. He is a libertarian politician from the Czech Republic who named the piece of land as Liberland and declared it as a free republic in 2015 after raising a flag in the area. Since then, he's been arrested and held by Croatian officials several times for attempting to get into the area. Despite this, more than 600,000 individuals from all over the world have signed up to become future Liberland citizens, which anyone else, including you, may do right now by simply sending an email. What are Serbia and Croatia's reactions to this? Both Serbia and Croatia have declared that neither Jedlička nor anybody else has any rights to the island, which is being disputed by the two countries. Serbia has previously claimed that while they consider the situation insignificant, the potential new state of Liberland does not intrude on the Serbian boundary, which they claim is defined by the Danube River. Meanwhile, Croatia has argued that the territory should be given to either Serbia or Croatia, following international arbitration rather than go to a third party. Croatia prefers to keep neutral rather than acquire it entirely in order to continue using it as a bartering chip with Serbia. Ultimately, an article published in the Chicago Journal of International Law in 2016 looked into Liberland's claims to nationhood using the requirements given out by the Montevideo Convention, which established the legal notion of statehood in 1933. According to the report, Croatia's assertion that Liberland belonged to Serbia may amount to a surrender of Croatia's legal rights to Liberland. If, on the other hand, the territory Liberland claims to be part of Serbia, the Serbian government's rejection of its title to that land could result in the property's legal status being changed to terra nullius. This means that anyone can claim the land as theirs. In both cases, the region would belong to the first entity to claim it, in this case, Liberland. However, due to the historical background of the Croatian-Serbian border region and the conflicting issues between the two, determining who owns the territory under international law may be quite problematic. Today, there are currently no countries that recognize Liberland's sovereignty, but who knows what might happen in the future? It can still change. Perhaps one of the countries would stand up and claim the country, or perhaps they would eventually allow someone such as Jedlička to take the territory. But what are your thoughts on this? Do you believe that area of Europe should belong to Serbia or Croatia? Should they instead allow a third party to claim it? Write down your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please click the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are posted. And as always, thanks for watching Ponder This.